I did it my way, nothing y'all can say. In this life or the next one, watch me, I'll be the best science. I am what I am today, cause I did it my way, nothing y'all can say.
Hey, welcome back to The Deal with Danny Brown. Today's guest, good buddy Ray Nosrati, one of the most successful developers on the high end of Los Angeles, from the Palisades, the Bel-Air, and everywhere in between. Is just some of the coolest homes, cutting edge technology and design, really sexy view homes. We have cannabis rooms, we have nightclubs, basketball courts, all sorts of crazy cool stuff. So looking forward to this conversation. Hope you guys enjoy it, and be safe out there. Take care. Welcome to The Deal. Today's special guest, Ray Nosrati, head and founder and CEO of Huntington Estate Homes. A good friend of mine. I've known him a long time. Staying busy out there, Ray? How you doing?
Oh, yeah, man. You know, China.
Everyone healthy?
Everyone's great. Everyone's healthy.
Thank God.
Dad actually, unfortunately, had a little situation. You know, he had the virus. And,
oh, wow. Sorry to hear
he was actually one of the first ones. Wow. Yes, at a UCLA. Went ahead and got tested. They couldn't figure out what it was.
They had no idea what it was.
No, well, he had stent surgery, right? Yeah, he was supposed to have open heart surgery, which thank God it got changed, and then they went ahead and did stents. He comes home and he had a fever. Rushed him back to the hospital. They started doing all the testing, and everything was totally negative. Everything was fine. They did it for COVID, and it took about 3 days at UCLA to go ahead and get back, and they call and they say he's positive. Holy shit. Now we're freaking out.
Yeah.
Because you don't know much about it, right? You don't know much about it at all. This is actually right before even Donovan Mitchell, the Jazz players actually went ahead and tested positive for it. They had found out during the game. So this is right before that. Right. This is right before that. This was about 4 or 5 days even before that happened. So he went back to the hospital, and they kept them in there, and they started testing and released them after, I want to say, about a week. Came home, quarantined for 2 weeks in there. Guy's healthy, man. He's more active than me right now.
Good, thank God.
He's doing absolutely.
He's healthy.
Yeah. Absolutely great.
We need his antibodies.
Right? That's it.
So, Ray, you are one of the most successful builders at the high end of LA. You build high-end spec homes, view homes, some of the sexiest designed houses. You design them and build them yourself. We're going to get into that. But really, I wanted to start with what's going on your sites now. I know you have active sites happening. You guys, I assume, are essential workers. So what's different, if anything, on your actual current active sites that you're building now?
Definitely access to the projects has been easier, right? I mean, my office is in Sherman Oaks, live in Encino, so it take me about a good, sometimes 45 minutes just to go ahead and get to one of the Brentwood projects. I mean, right now we're talking about 15 minutes in and out. So that's the
silver lining there for you.
Right. The other positive side is, we're one of the few that are actually still active and building and going up. So a lot of these subs are definitely more available. Right? A lot of the homeowners who were doing additions or doing whatever that was in their homes, and a lot of these other developers and investors are not really moving forward.
Got it.
Like the way we're going. So that part of it has been easier also, but it's definitely slowed down because of the guidelines, right?
So that's what I want to get into, like on the actual site where you have people framing or pouring or the hard nuts and bolts. What's going on there? People safe.
Yes, it's safe. It's been pretty strong. We've been going. I'll tell you one thing also. To me, I feel like this whole thing has been a little over-exaggerated. Right? I mean, that's just me, kind of my personal opinion of it.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a little over-exaggerated. I think the media, there is no positive media. Everything about media is damn negative. Right? So, you have to follow the guidelines, but I think there's definitely a lot more to it. The guys are good. They're healthy. We haven't had any issues at our sites with any of the guys at all. We have somebody full time that sanitizes the guys before they walk in, sanitize their hands. Every 2 hours to walk around, again, sanitize.
Got it.
Keep a very, very close eye on it. Superintendent full-time, just kind of watching out over everything. The homes are big, you know, I mean, these homes are ranging anywhere between, smallest one right now is about 13,000 square foot. It'll go to about 25,000 square feet, right?
Yes. So you have a lot of space.
You do have a lot of space, definitely do have a lot of space. But, you know, again, with the guidelines, the amount of people that are allowed to kind of be there, we had an issue last week, actually. You know, so one of the neighbors in one of the projects, this lady's flying a drone over the project because she wants to make sure everything. She's been trying to stop it.
Yes, of course. The nosy neighbor.
Oh yeah.
There's always one of those.
You gotta love them. She wasn't able to stop it, so you know she's been trying to come and just take pictures, whatever. We have a security guard that actually sits also outside, just to kind of keep a close eye on everything. So won't let anybody in unless you're authorized to go ahead and come in. You know, again, just follow the guidelines. Delivery comes, whatever it is. Just follow the COVID-19 guideline. So she gets a drone and starts going on top and trying to keep a close eye on everything. It's lunchtime, and these guys are sitting next together and having lunch.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, ching. Hey, look at this. Oh my God, here we go. Next door, you know, it's on a next door app. And,
yeah.
You know,
they're not social distancing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Crazy neighbors. Yeah, I can go off on Nextdoor app. Well, look, I want to get into your incredible talent of design and building with cannabis rooms and basketball courts and nightclubs. But before we build to that, I'd love for people that don't know you very well to hear your story. I know you immigrated when you were younger from Iran. Can you tell us just the race story and how you got to get into real estate, starting from, you know, coming to America, and give us the breakdown of that.
Right. So, you know, born in Iran, 1978, August 23rd, 1978. Actually, the same exact birthday as Kobe Bryant's, 8/23/78.
Kobe, rest in peace.
Yeah, maybe rest in peace, definitely. So moved to Germany, right? Born in Germany, stayed there for 2 years before we're able to go ahead and get all the documents put together and move to U.S.
Your whole family came together?
No. So me, my mom and I and sister were able to go ahead and get out. Dad, unfortunately, was not. He had to stay there a little bit longer. Dad actually came about a year and a half after we did.
Yeah.
Right. So we're all together for about 6 to 8 months in Germany, and then we're able to go ahead and move to fly out to Los Angeles.
Got it. So you guys ended up in LA. So you've been here in LA since you were little.
Correct. Since 85, I want to say.
Mid-80s. So you went to school here, came up through the system here. How did you get into the real estate business?
So I'll tell you a little background about that. Before I used to be in the wireless business, I actually started.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That was your first hustle.
That was it. From high school, right? From high school, I went ahead and was working for AirTouch Wireless.
Yep.
And, you know, just doing retail. So I kind of started thinking about how can we start doing more sales than these other guys. Yeah. So I started getting on the phone and actually telemarketing, right? Telemarketing, just the areas around us back then. It was Yellow Pages, right?
Yeah. This is pre-internet.
Right. So
this is on the phone, cold calling.
Right. So, you know, Steve wants a phone and here on. And they were charging for 120 minutes. I'll never forget this. It was $69.99 for 120 minutes and then 500 minutes nights and weekends, right? Wow. And text. There is no internet. There is no
internet. Yeah.
None of that stuff, right? Yeah. We couldn't be doing. We were not able to do this back then. What we're doing right now.
No way. This is Nokia's or flip phones.
Right.
At the back.
That's it. So then I started kind of doing. I was doing by myself more sales, and I was keeping on the hush hush. You know, no one knew what was going on. I was doing more sales by myself out of 10 locations, right? That the guy I used to work for had. Yeah. So then I started, you know, thinking about this and trying to go ahead and take it to the next level. So I go ahead and one of my dad's friends back then, I was young, I was in high school. Yeah. Right when high school I graduated from high school, I started renting a little office.
Wow. What a hustler.
Oh, yeah. Started doing the same thing, right? So now you got, at that point, a lot of these telemarketing companies, if you remember, they were doing in-carriages, right? That was a big thing. You would call these major offices and you would sell in-carriages and different things. People weren't telemarketing to sell cell phones at all.
Yeah.
So I started going in, brought a buddy of mine in, and just short story, before you know it, I have 15 to 20 employees.
Wow.
Yeah, and these are high school kids now. Right after high school, they would go ahead and come in there, and they're on the phone and just start telemarketing, right?
Wow.
Next thing you know, some of these kids are not going to school anymore.
They're making money.
They're making money.
Yeah.
Making money. A month later, one of the moms comes in and just goes crazy. What's going on?
I think it's a drug operation. You guys, young people making money.
Yeah, it was doing great, and it started blowing up pretty good.
Yeah.
I went ahead and moved, and I got a retail store location on Ventura Boulevard in Tarzana.
What was it called?
It was called Cellular Promotions.
Yeah, Tarzana.
Right in Tarzana, and same thing over there. We started doing all these cell phones. AT&T was also active, so I was buying AT&T contracts from the AT&T reps. AirTouch contracts. I'm sorry, LA Cellular. Back then was LA Cellular.
LA Cellular. Wow.
LA Cellular contracts.
Yeah, I remember them.
We were giving like those guys out there $50 for a contract, right? Now these contracts are always coming by. They're coming to the end. You have a 3-year contract or a 1-year contract, and then they expire. Yeah. Right? Now at this point, rates are always getting better also. Right? It was, it started being $69.99 back there for 120 minutes compared to now. Exactly. Right. And these guys' contracts were finished. So we're doing the same thing back then with the guys who had AirTouch contracts. So we're buying these leads and we're calling the AirTouch guys, switching them over to LA Cellular, switching over to AirTouch. Now this thing is blowing up. Everybody was either looking to get a new phone, right? No one had phones back then. Or I call you, I'm going to be able to save you $20 a month and give you another 500-600 minutes.
No brainer. Yeah.
So it started going in. One thing led to another one. I bought a building in Van Nuys. It was a little industrial building. We set up a whole, before that, let me back up actually. Sprint PCS comes in. Right? This is a funny story. Sprint PCS comes in. Dude, I'm like 22, 23. I mean, just
holy
party, right? Single, having a great time. Yes, I met my wife actually a little bit right after that, so she started working for me. We'll get to that. So they come in, Sprint PCS active now. I get a call. This guy, I was at lunch and I get a call from the office. This guy's here from Sprint PCS and wants to see. I'm like, man, I don't have time for him. He goes, no, listen, he said he'll wait here for you. You definitely want to go in here. He's not here to sell you anything. He's got an offer he wants to make. And I say, hey, maybe he wants to go out and buy the company up. So I go down there and say, listen, we've been watching you. We've been watching that just opened up, and we see what you're doing now. Out of this store, we're doing more activation than all of LA County. Cell phone stores between AirTouch and LA Cellular combined, right? Now here comes Sprint. Yeah. And, and then I have phones that we're packaging. We're driving down to UPS and shipping these phones out to these people also. So that was the whole crazy part about it. Just getting these phones, packaging them was a lot more work to it.
What a hustle.
So this guy goes, listen, we have a program we'll set up for you. It's called SBDN, Small Business Dealer Network. You won't have to do anything. You guys just sell. You'll go ahead and send that order over to us. We'll drop ship for you.
Got it. They'll handle everything.
Yep. And if you promise me an exclusive contract, I will give you a nationwide. Now, what that means is I got a nationwide license. I can sell basically anywhere in the nation, right? Starting from East Coast in the mornings all the way to Hawaii in the evening, right? I say.
So you're just opened up a whole world of opportunity.
Let's go. Now, I'm a Verizon and AirTouch for about 2 years. I mean, I got contracts, right? We're doing about, 200-300 activations back then, just on a monthly basis. So now these clients are now here comes Sprint PCS. They'll ship you a free phone. I don't remember what the rate was, but it was like, wow, right? They came down. It was 1,000 minutes for like $49.
It beat everybody. It was an awesome deal. Yeah.
Let's go. Let's do it. So he sets it up. He sets it up. He flies me on a private jet to Kansas City. Right? I'm like, wine, dine. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
We had a great time with them. Whatever. I ended up signing with them, and one thing led to another, and we got 140 reps. We're calling East Coast in the morning, right? Wow. Hawaii at night at home, right? So we stop out here. Let's say we stop at about 8:30 telemarketing. In Hawaii, it was 10:30 at night, right? Which is 8:30 out here. We're 2 hours behind.
Right.
So now we got Hawaii. So we're going to 10:30 our time, which is 8:30 Hawaii time. It was a full boiler room, and it started blowing up. Started doing,
This is a huge operation, and you're a young guy. You're a kid with
great.
all these people you're managing.
Yeah, it was great. It was dealing with all these, these are not doctors that are on the phone. You're dealing with characters.
Yeah.
It started doing great, and ended up selling the company back in 2004, I want to say 2003, 2004.
Okay.
Right around there. I always had an eye for real estate, eye for design. I was, remodeling. Basically, the office I was in, just kind of different. I bought my own condo. I started remodeling, and I always kind of.
You're always creative and design oriented.
Yeah, just kind of blessed with the talent to be able to kind of vision, something and be able to kind of put it all together. So I ended up going to back then. This is Ellen Empire was hot next to KB Homes and all that.
Oh yeah, the market was sizzling hot. All those new tract homes and
all those new tract homes. Yes. So I'm driving just to start looking at stuff. We go to Loma Linda. I bought a property in Loma Linda to go ahead and just kind of hold and rent, and then we're going off to Palm Springs, right? Okay. Off Banning, Indio, Redlands, right up.
Yeah.
Here, and you see all these tract developments going on. Shit. So started looking at them. We're driving back, and I'm with a buddy of mine. We go. This is on a Friday, about 4:00, heading back. We go and sit down and have a drink, happy hour, whatever it was. I see these guys next to us sitting over there. They had these t-shirts called. It was Greystone Homes. Greystone Homes back then was like KB.
Got a big public builder.
Right. So talking to the guy. Guy ends up being the head honcho for Greystone Homes. Right. We start talking. He's like, listen, man, I'm actually looking to leave. Now, I got cash, and I don't really know much about development, track, and all that stuff. This guy's got all the experience and all the connections.
Yes.
He goes, I actually have a very, very great connection with the council office over here, in the Inland Empire. Set up a meeting. Go set up a meeting. We start talking. We hit it off really, really well.
Yeah.
He goes, listen, we have chicken ranches here. That I want these chicken ranches out. Right? If you want to go out and play with it, then I'm willing to make a deal. We'll do a whole subdivision on it. So let's go look at it. So we started looking at these chicken ranches, and these guys already had plans. And John Jesus Munoz from Greystone Homes already knew which direction they're going.
Yes.
Right? Greystone's going, right? So within the next 10 months, they were going to be actually about half a mile away from these chicken ranches.
Wow.
So I already know what's coming.
Yes.
So let's buy it. Start buying these chicken ranches. There were 6 of them kind of right next to each other. Each one you can do 37 homes.
Each one?
Each one. Right? These are little single family homes. You buy them, they'll work on the permit fees and all that stuff. I bought 3 of them, right? Got the other 2 and gave it to somebody else. And we started going ahead and doing subdivision and going up. Started going up.
You built them or just entitled them?
I don't know. We entitled them and built them.
You built the tract homes. I didn't realize that.
These are between 1,800 to 2,200 square feet homes, right? These Koreans are coming in just boom.
Buying them and
right. So by the time it started going up, by the time it starts finishing, it hit 2008, 2000.
Ooh, perfect timing.
Perfect time. Beautiful timing. And these guys start dumping these damn homes for like $40,000.
Oh.
Right? They have to get rid of them. Boom. So now what happens? Now you're like, what do you do?
Yes, that was when those institutions were coming in and buying up those tract homes at pennies on the dollars and, and renting them out until recently.
That's it.
Selling them again.
They started kind of taking a bit.
So you guys got hammered. You were the epicenter of that.
Definitely got hammered, but I learned a lot from it. I always say that was one of the most expensive and best lessons that I kind of had with it, because this guy bounced all the time, right? He's not getting paid, he bounced. So I was stuck trying to figure out what to do with these. So started negotiating with the banks, right? A good maybe 50% of them had to go ahead and let go. But the other 50% of them, they weren't 100% finished. So I sat on them a little bit, negotiated with the bank. Different investors came in, started ahead and finishing them, and actually made a profit of about 68% on them at the end of the day.
Got it. So you hung in there and turned it around and made it a win.
That was it. Yep. And
you had the persistence and the fortitude to grind it out when your back was against the wall. Everyone was jumping ship.
That's it. From there is when I learned location. You always hear that, right? Real estate is about location.
Of course, it's true.
So that's kind of where I started.
You started there. So between there and where you are now, building these glass view mansions with basketball courts and cannabis rooms, I also know you were cutting your teeth on the west side, doing more. It's still high end, but not LA high end. In the Palisades, you were doing the family homes, the 4,000 foot home, and you were really doing well there. That's about when I met you. I think this was 10 years ago or so.
Right.
And now from there, you've evolved into these uber mega modern glass, incredible homes. So kind of talk me through the progression from building the standard sort of family homes into these glass modern uber luxury homes that you're doing now.
I still look at them. These are still kind of warm, still definitely a family home. But Palisade, when I first got started in Palisade, it was a different ballgame, right? The kind of buyers that are moving in Palisade right now are very different than the guys who were buying when I started building these cave-side homes, traditional homes.
Right.
These were more just kind of family, a lot more conservative, smaller home they were looking for. Buyers were a little different.
Yeah,
right?
It's changed.
Not 100%. So what you see now is a lot of new money, right? Just with the whole technology, 2020, the theme has changed, and the buyers are a lot of new money, a lot of younger families that are starting to buy these homes, right? But you didn't really have that much back then, right? So, the thing about it, in Palisade, the lots were in the alphabets. Remember that?
5,200 square foot lot.
52 to 6,500 square foot lot. You weren't able to really play that much. First house I actually did was in Palisades. In the alphabets was 806 Islet.
Yeah.
So I started a little bit more blingy to it, like cool chandeliers and wallpaper.
Yes. It was standing out because everyone else was doing sort of that generic traditional, and you were like the first one to start doing this transitional, modern, edgy, traditional. People were like, wow, what is that?
Well, it backfired. Right? It backfired. The whole elevation. Here's the thing about a Palisades buyer back then. They don't want to stand out. People are coming there kind of trying to be hidden, be away. These guys got money, but it's just not in a way that the home
not flashy.
Exactly. So, I actually ended up changing the elevation a little bit after that to kind of make it go ahead and flow.
Yeah.
But
you pivoted.
Yeah. Palisade was just kind of holding me back a little bit. I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do. Right? It was just I felt like it was holding back a little bit. Lots were small. You weren't able to really play with it much here and there. When I got to the Riviera, we did that. I think it was 1630 Amalfi.
Amalfi? That was a bigger lot. Yeah.
Yep. Bigger lot.
The Circle.
Exactly. Now you're talking closer to Brentwood. This is not really Palisade. Palisade, you were able to have a little more fun and do a little bit more massive projects.
Yeah.
But still, it was not with all the blings and
not a flashy audience. Still very conservative family.
Dropped it gorgeous. Some of the NBA players actually jumped over the young NBA guys. They loved it. They were
Griffin and
right. They were all over it also. And then from there is when Bel-Air and Brentwood happened.
Yeah. Then you got into the modern Hillside homes. Right.
So this is when I started really looking around and seeing what's going on in the whole neighborhood. Right. And this is where you see, okay, this is a little different. These are definitely standing out a little bit more now. The thing about these locations is they're bigger lots. And a lot of these homes are more hidden. So you don't really see them from the street. They don't stand out to that side, right? But these are big lots. Now with this whole mansionization guideline, also the amount of square foot that you're allowed to build, it starts making more sense on these lots. You're definitely paying a lot more, right, for the land.
Yeah.
But you can do a lot more with it also, right? So from there, I started just doing bigger, trying to be different, and always trying to kind of look up how you can be a little bit ahead of the game. These homes were designed for honestly any buyer, right? Yeah. Any buyer, you know, your CEO, your musician, your athlete, your celebrity, your conservative guy. It kind of just flows. It's sexy, it's warm, and it's fun.
Right.
But it's still a home.
Yeah, and that's what in Brentwood you started early on. It was Walther Way and Tiger Tail and some of those, and then it's now you have Bel-Air and some other. So talk to me about hillside building. For those that have no clue, it's one thing to put a house on a flat lot.
Right.
It's an entirely different animal to go onto a hillside in LA that's sloped and to build a foundation there for a big, massive home. What kind of complications, expense, what kind of issues? Speak to that a little bit about building those big homes on a hillside in LA.
Totally different ballgame. Hillside is totally different ballgame. A lot of the hillsides, also the streets, are definitely not as wide, especially in Brentwood and Bel-Air.
Super narrow. You got to get trucks in these little.
You get these super narrow, and neighbors that are not too happy. Everyone knows about construction happening over there. So, one, when you're doing this hillside and in these big lower level basements, right? This is when major grading is involved. On a job like Bundy, for example, right? We took out over 1,400 trucks of dirt.
1,400.
1,400 of dirt, right?
Wow.
Just kind of picture that, right? And then the other thing, these are, these are soil conditions that are not the best in these neighborhoods, right? These are sitting on hills and just kind of slopes, and now you got piles. So you got major big cranes that have to go in and put these piles in, and it's just, the foundation is everything. It's just like anything else. It starts with the foundation. If that foundation is not done correctly, you're going to have major, major issues. And I believe in anything, you're as good as your team, right? You're as good as your team. So it's got to be a team that knows what the hell they're doing, or it could be major issues.
Yeah. I think a lot of people have gotten in over their heads in hillside homes. People have thought, they see people like you and Niall and some other people making money and doing it right. Like, I'll do this. I'll buy this lot. And then they get in over their heads with the caissons and the pylons, and they don't know the nuances. And then there's been some disasters. And I think there's certainly some now that are going to pop up. The disasters are going to become more apparent now because they're a couple of years into these projects. But yeah, you really need a specialized skill set and the capital to understand how much money you have to invest in those caisson foundations. I mean, it's unbelievable. When I see those videos that you do with these cranes coming in, and it's like you're building a 50-story high-rise in Manhattan. It's gigantic machinery.
It's really pretty much the same setup. When you're doing these humongous kind of, 6,000, 7,000 square foot low basements, and you're going down 80, 90 feet.
80 or 90 feet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sometimes, the soil, you're going to have. And here's the thing with LA also. LA guidelines and the code, it's a totally different ballgame, man. Because of the whole earthquake and everything we got to worry about out here.
Earthquake safety.
Right. So, you could take that same exact plan, for example, and move it over to, I don't know, Arizona or somewhere else. And you won't have to do that.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? You won't have to do that.
It won't require that. So tell me some of the fun stuff you've done. Obviously, you've gotten a ton of publicity for this cannabis room. Right about now, while everyone's in quarantine, it'd be pretty phenomenal. If I was worth $100 million or a billionaire, I would love to be hanging out in my house with a cannabis room, a pool room, a card room, a basketball court. Talk to me about some of the fun stuff you're putting in homes or that you have put in homes.
Yeah, so, I called it an adult playground.
Yeah.
And it ended up right now being like, oh, wow. It's got such a high demand. I got clients in the past calling, hey, Ray, can we do this here now?
They want to do it after the fact. Come in and dig it out and build it. Right.
And here, the funny thing about it is, as a lot of these homes that I'm doing are sold before you even see them. Right. And this was a kind of a very big factor of it. It was a humongous selling point. Some of these guys, right, don't want anyone to know. It's kind of a hush-hush thing. Still in the public's eyes, hey, it's not still a kind of okay or a cool thing, the whole cannabis, marijuana side.
Yeah, it's political in some sense, yeah. Anyway, not as much as the rest of the world, but yes.
It's still getting there.
It's still touchy.
This is I call it adult playground, right? The cannabis lounge goes up to 6 plants. Now, what we set up also is if you don't want that, it gets transferred over and it grows organic vegetables, it's like indoor vegetables.
Perfect.
Which is great. Yeah. So some of my guys, for example, they didn't want that because, they had kids or different reasons, whatever it was.
Yeah.
We met with the chef. The chef said, hey, this is what he does for his client.
He wants basil. He wants lemon. He wants whatever he wants.
So that was turned into that. And then the way it's set up, it's usually behind.
It's usually hidden, right?
Yeah, behind a bookshelf, right?
Incredible. I've seen some of it where it's like, woo, it looks like a library, and it's literally like, woo, and then there's the playground.
And then, you have your video wall, you have the cannabis lounge there, a pool bar, cigar lounge. I had a client, and then whatever it is. Hey, I had a client who wanted he called it an exercise pole. So we put a nice exercise pole.
Exercise pole.
Exercise pole,
I love exercise poles, Ray.
It worked out good, so we put an exercise pole.
How about the basketball court? Was that your boy CP3 or what? You built some on the basketball court. Or you're not allowed to talk about it?
DeAndre had one, Blake had one, those guys. Yeah, I mean, it's all over the place now. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, with the court for them, but
I gotta think there's a lot of people, a lot of wealthy buyers out there, hopefully some of mine, that are thinking, going to your websites now, going, God, at a time like this, I really wish if I had all this fun, this playground, because the world has changed and you want to be contained in your home, especially in LA. You don't want to be caught in traffic. But can you imagine? I just think that's going to be more demand for that kind of product for obviously the uber wealthy. This is a very small, rarefied air type of person. But for those people, this is what they want. And you're building it, and you're doing it in such a creative, unique, and like you said, a warm way. It's actually, people think, oh, you got to be a bachelor. No, I've been in these homes. They're family friendly. It just design is cutting edge, and it's fun and it's interesting, but you still build with families in mind. 100%. And that's pretty amazing. What would be like some funny things that people have asked you to do? Is there any funny stories about someone said, hey, I want to build, I don't know, basketball court, batting cage, whatever it is? What would be some of the weirder or unique things? It doesn't have to be weird, just that people have wanted you to put in these homes.
Honestly, nothing of it has at this level. I mean, you've seen kind of so much going on, right? Like before, you would talk about, the golf simulators and stuff like that, and you were like, golf simulator in the house. So you're starting to see a lot of that now. I did a fish aquarium actually.
They have a whole room.
Well, no, this was actually on the floor.
Oh, you did it on the floor, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we did it on the floor, and what I'm doing now, which is pretty cool, we got this marine helicopter that is sitting on. So Bundy has 3 roof decks.
Okay.
And this marine copter is about 39 feet long. It's sitting on one of the roof decks above the cannabis lounge. It's fully built out inside. It doesn't fly, of course, but it's got hardwood floors. I got fiber optic ceilings inside, suede walls, big screen TV, just a full sitting area. So it's like kind of like a tree house or like a lounge that you're actually chilling inside a copter,
hanging out.
You got this virtual video game inside that you can go ahead and play. You got the gorgeous view right there. So it's different, right? A little different. And here's one thing I'll tell you about these homes. Who's buying these homes? A lot of these homes are money guys, right?
Yeah, big money guys.
A good percentage of them are the rich, the famous, the celebrities and all that. These guys in LA can't really go out with a group of people and hang out and have a good time. Right? The paparazzi, it's just LA is a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, technically.
On that level of the game with a group to go out. So the whole game plan for the guys who are buying these homes was, hey, build something that you don't have to leave and people want to come there.
Right. Smart.
So then, this is like an entertainment dream. And also, it's still a home. It's still warm. It's still family. Right? You got the indoor pool, for example. Right. Indoor pool. You got the outdoor pool. You got a putting range. You got the basketball court, fire pits. Just the whole 9 yards with them. It's pretty much all set up in these homes.
Yeah, they're amazing. What an amazing thing. Yeah, I just can imagine right now. I wish I had that. I wish I could open my library doors and walk into the playroom and just hang out in quarantine for another month or so.
You want to have both. I keep telling my wife, I go, hey, man, we got to move.
So tell me, what are some of the hardest development issues you've had? Obviously, it sounded like early on that was a hard issue in the tracks home. But is there anything technically? What's the hardest part of the technical side of building? Is it the hillside stuff, or what would you say?
For me, it's actually gone pretty simple now. Be able to deal with this hillside, but I've been kind of doing it over and over again.
And mastered it.
Oh yeah, the beginning was, definitely scary. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. The first project that I started doing ended up being the biggest nightmare in my life.
I'm sure.
Right? And, the house started having issues, it started leaking just because going into it, not having the experience that you have now and counting on other people, right? Started having issues.
Yeah.
So, you learn from that as you go on. I didn't start doing low-level basements in Hillside.
Of course. You were doing track homes in San Bernardino.
Right. So it took some time to go ahead and get to that level. That's been okay to go ahead and deal with. I would say that the hardest part about it would be just dealing with trees, for example. When you got trees on this property, right?
And in Brentwood and Bel-Air and Palisades, you do.
In Brentwood,
historic trees.
Exactly. You see a lot of these, right? And you have to go ahead and kind of learn how to design around these trees and still have the project make sense.
Yeah. For those of people that aren't in LA or don't know about LA building, there are designated special historic trees that you cannot tear down. So if you're building, even on a massive estate lot like Ray does, you got to be mindful of designing your build around these trees. You can't touch them. And they're serious. There's conservationists and breathing down your throat and watching what you're doing. And you can't just go chop a tree down unless you want to pay some serious fines. Right. Yeah. So that's what you're talking about.
And then just kind of at this level, you're doing a 20, 30,000 square feet house. You have to count on a lot of people. Right. And I always, this industry, it's tough, man. This is, especially when you're doing.
It's not easy, Ray. It's not easy.
No, but it ain't easy, man. It is. I'm telling you, it's definitely not easy. Especially when you're doing quantity, right? And having to just kind of count on many, many, many different aspects and different people that you're working with it. I have a full-time super just sitting all day on that project, just kind of overseeing and helping out and making sure everything is going the way it has to go. But there's still issues. That's kind of one major thing about it, having to count on everybody.
Yeah. So what are some of the lessons you've learned through the years that you would give your younger self now that you've been through this and you've seen a couple cycles and you've had a lot of success, you've dealt with a lot of adversity, you've kind of been up and down, you've pivoted and seemed to learn from your mistakes. And what I'm hearing from you is a theme of adapting, pivoting, and improving, learning from mistakes, and then taking advantage coming out of those mistakes to do things even better. What would be some of the lessons or advice you would give your younger self, knowing what you know now, that would have saved you some headaches?
Good question. Definitely, I would say a few things. One, you got to have a backup plan, right? I mean, anytime I sit there and I look at a project, I have a backup plan for this project. Because look, again, I always say it's not going to be great all the time, right? It's not going to be filet lobster and Disneyland, on every single project. There's going to be issues, and you don't know what's going to happen, I mean, God forbid there's an earthquake and it goes to shit all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, look who would have ever thought of this nightmare.
Coronavirus, yeah.
Right? So you got to kind of and you learn from this. Again, when I say it was the most expensive and best lesson is from back then what happened, even in 2007, 8, and 9, you kind of learn from that. And that fear that you have about the past, you kind of put that in your whole business plan. Well, what am I going to do if this market drops down again? So you kind of have that really thought about before you go into it. And I would say your end price. The first couple of projects I would go into it is not calculating exactly where is my end price going to be into this thing. Yeah. I always say the number one thing is what you're building at. Well, I'm saying
your building cost, your price.
And what your purchase cost is. Your purchase cost, right? Your purchase cost makes a big difference on that. And then here's the other thing. You'll buy a lot that you can do a 10,000 square foot house on it with a 2-story house. But then there is another lot that, hey, you can still do a 10,000 square foot house But now you got to add a basement to that to get to that 10,000 square feet.
Yes.
Right? And for the price you're buying it at, you have to hit that square feet to be able to sell it at the price you want to go ahead and sell, right? Price per square foot.
Right.
Right? So that kind of makes a big difference. A lot of these guys will come into the game and not understanding it, right? They'll go ahead and buy something, then, hey, I can go ahead and hire this contractor, and this guy down the street sold it for $20 million, so I can do
I'll get it. Yeah.
Right. Well, what you don't understand is, that contractor better know what the hell he's doing. And that's the first nightmare you hear. Is
Sure.
these guys will go out there and pick on 10 different jobs, make a little bit here and there, and you hear all these nightmare stories, right?
So many nightmares. I get these calls all the time, right?
Then you have the designers who gets involved that charge a good percentage of it, but this designer is not thinking about, the cost of this guy's going to have to make money at the end of the day, and he's going to have to hit his X percentage or whatever it is. Designers, most of the designers, I would say, they kind of think about look first, right? Well, it makes a difference. You don't go buy, a $3,000-$4,000 faucet when you're putting it in a, $4 million house.
The balance between art and commerce at all times has got to be kept in mind.
So you'll get into it, and then now the market just changed. What do you do now? You see what I'm saying? What do you do now? Like with me, there's no contractor involved. It's just me. I do the design, right? And I come in, and we have about a 50% subs. The other 50% is our own in-house crew. So I'm bringing in a lot of material and kind of managing the guys ourselves.
Yeah.
I sit there, handle the design from A to Z, and go up with it. But you got to be careful. You really got to be careful, especially if you're on the, higher level. And I always say location, location, location. I think right now, it's going to take a hit. I definitely do. And you're going to have to be ready for it. You're going to have to understand, unless you're willing to sit, you're going to have to understand that you're going to have to go ahead and do your price adjustment a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that you see, they're selling before they're finished, right? Or they're selling pretty quick. Now, why? I price them right. You got to price them right.
Everything.
Right, 100%. And this is right now kind of where I think it's going to make a big difference. The guys who are into it for more than they should be into it.
Right, because they bought it wrong or they made a mistake with designer or contractor, and now the market didn't save them. A lot of people, amateurs, got saved when the market was flying.
Exactly.
This is when professionals like you make the smart, strategic decisions early, do well, and a lot of people will get burned because they were planning on the market just continuing forever. And
a perfect example, I'll tell you this: Bel-Air, right? Dropped it, gorgeous house, right? We went on the market for I think 19.9 or something like that.
You talking 1475 Bel-Air?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Market started kind of freezing right now because agents can show.
We're in a freeze.
But so I have to be ready right now. Hey, do I want to sit and wait, or do I want to go ahead and play and try to go ahead and move this thing? I'm a player. I don't like to sit.
Yeah.
What do? I bring it down. I put it at 69. Now, what does that do to everything around it?
Impacts everything, right?
Right. So it's going to impact it, and you got to be ready to be able to just go ahead and play with it a little bit, or it's going to hurt you. So and it's going to happen.
Yeah, there's tough decisions. This is part of being a builder. It's not just, like you said, lobster and fillets every day. I mean, markets change, things happen.
Right.
And that's part of it. If you're going to be in the big leagues, you get burned, and you got to make some tough choices. And
here's the other thing I think people should really understand and be careful at. There's guys out there with money, right? And this is really important. What people don't understand is on the hard money side about it, right?
Yeah.
There's guys that will go out there, and it's a great game plan, but you're going ahead and investing in these projects and charging that individual whatever. 10%.
10%, yeah. Couple points.
Exactly. Now what happens is that 10% is going to keep adding up. That thing is sitting, and this guy just lends you $3-4 million.
Yeah.
You better be ready to go ahead and start paying up that interest that is adding up and adding up and adding up.
There goes your profit really quick.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a lot of interest, compounding. Well, how many projects are you working on now? How many do you have that are either done or in production or starting? How many do you have going?
There's a total of 5.
5.
Yes, that are going up right now.
It's a good amount at the high end.
Yeah. Two of them, there's two that are done, which is Bel-Air and Canfield, which we just brought on the market.
Right.
There's a massive one that will hopefully start in about a month and a half on Samara. It's going to be drop dead gorgeous.
In Bel-Air?
Oh, yes. And,
how big is that one going to be? That's a massive one, right?
Yeah, Samara is going to be approximately around 27,000 square feet. Yeah, it's got two pools. The main pool, 10 feet deep. You jump in, and then it's all glass on the bottom. So you're in a lower level. You're looking inside the pool.
Have you started there? Have you done any soils or grading or things, or no?
Yeah, just got the plans, actually. I'm just working on a final design right now.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I'll send it to you. It's pretty cool.
Send it to me.
I will.
Well, I'll have to say this. Some of my favorite times in real estate are when you send videos of you and your boys smashing and demoing old teardowns. And I'm like, man, just invite me. That's such good therapy for us and our boys that are active and running around. Next time, let me come up there with my two boys with some hammers and let's start clubbing the crap out of those walls.
Let's do it.
Man, thank you so much, man.
How old are your boys?
I have 9 and 7, and then my daughter's 5.
Okay, it's right. Mine is 8 and 7.
Age, right? Yeah, they know they're similar age.
They're right there.
All right. Well, good. I'm glad everyone's doing well and everyone's healthy. I appreciate you spending some time with us. We're doing this on Zoom now. The world has changed, but look, you do some beautiful work, and hopefully I'll be selling some of these projects soon, and I can't wait to come up with some hammers and demo with my boys and get some of that anger management out, real estate anger management.
Just bring a mask.
Bring a mask, man, and gloves. All right, Ray, good to see you, man.
I'm a man. Good seeing you. Have a good one. Take care.
Take care, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, listen. I am what I am today, 'cause I did it my way. Nothing y'all can say. In this life or the next one. Watch me, I'll be the best. I am what I am today, 'cause I did it my way. Nothing y'all can say.
Hey, thank you for tuning in and listening to the deal. That was Ray Nosrati from Huntington Estate Properties. Incredible. You can always find Ray at heproperties.com or on Instagram. He's at Ramteen_Ray_Nosrati. Incredible stories. You can always find me at The Deal Pod, thedealpod.com. Please subscribe. Leave 5-star review if you like what you hear. Leave a comment. We really appreciate it. Our subscriber base and listeners have doubled over the last couple of weeks, and it just keeps increasing. So please keep listening and keep letting people know about us. Appreciate it, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.